Folks, welcome back to the iHealth channel, iHealth Radio, with your host, Hurricane H. New day, new show. Not a new topic, not a new guest. It's actually a guest that's been with us before who shared some real innovation before. And today we're just going to bring him back to discuss more. So he's a guest who's helping really redefine the future of recovery, performance, and wellness through the power of light. Yes, you heard it right. So, John Graham Harper, he is the founder and CEO of Lumaflex, creator of the world's first FDA Class 2 cleared portable red light therapy device with more than 15 years in fitness, gym management, and recovery technology. John has become one of the leading innovators in the health optimization space. His journey began as a competitive athlete, a trainer battling injuries that pushed him to search for better, non invasive recovery solutions. That search led him to red light therapy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And ultimately, building the idea of Lumaflex, a globally recognized wellness technology company. Under his leadership, now Lumaflex has earned major international recognition, including Time Magazine's Best Innovation of 2023, and multiple Global Design and Innovation Awards. John, welcome back, man.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. I was just thinking when the first time I was on your show, that would have been it's like 2 years ago. Is that right? Would you say two?
That's 2 years exactly. Time
Wow.
flies when you're
Yeah.
having fun. Yeah, it's like yesterday.
Yeah. Trying to think where was I? I was probably in Thailand.
I,
Yeah,
I,
some memories. I'm
I,
trying to
I,
remember. But
I
yeah.
think you were. Well, it's
Yeah.
funny because I'm following your journey, and first time we met. I mean, I today, I've given a little introduction about your work, but you get around, dude. I mean, right now you're somewhere close to Hong Kong, somewhere in China, and
Yes.
yeah. But I love your work, man. You're all out there really pushing the concept of red light therapy. It is a concept that is not new to humanity, but it's somewhat new to technology today, in recent years.
Yes.
So, John, I can never do justice, presenting you. So let's talk a little bit about because I did kind of refer to the idea of you being an athlete, a trainer, and you've had your own injuries in the past. I believe you were a rugby player, so that's a pretty rough,
That's right.
place to,
That's right. That's where it
you know,
started.
that's
Yes,
that's
that's
that's a tough game. I might say this as a an enthusiast of American football. I would say, and people will hate me for this. I think rugby people are stronger, tougher, buffs than our players. Not for anything. I mean, our players are big, strong, and everything. But dude, you guys take a beating, man. There's
yeah.
like there's not
It's
tomorrow, man.
a lot of
There's no
injuries.
gear. There's
Yes.
no gear.
Yeah, because rugby is the strategy with rugby is to trip the individual, trip your opponent. As your opponent comes, you need to trip them. With American football, the strategy is to, like a train, you go straight into them. So, um, if a rugby player were to actually go straight in, like the injuries would be much worse. But and that's usually the topic. Like if you when playing rugby, you go to the bar afterwards and you have a few beers after practice, and all the Aussie boys, all the Irish and everything. Like I had a lot of Irish, a lot of French, a lot of Australians on the team. I'm Australian as well, but it's always the joke is like, oh, ruggers are tougher. They don't have the padding. But I've played both, and American football is all about running straight into the person, like just going straight in.
Echo.
And rugby's not like that. It's about sidestepping and tripping and going for the legs. A little bit different, but yeah, both are riddled with injuries, concussions, you name it. But that's where it all started for me with red light therapy was suffering immense pain and injuries in my career as a competitive athlete, as an aspiring, wannabe professional athlete that was going to be a champion or whatever. And I just got so severely injured. And my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, was actually the one pushing me to use red light therapy. And at first, I thought it was like, the women's sort of their pills and potions that they use. Not so sold on the idea of red light therapy because it's something that red light therapy is actually used for beauty. So women use it for collagen production, right? So it's been in the beauty space for many years. It's been well established as a beauty treatment. So I originally wasn't too sold on it, but after doing treatments, especially for my left knee, which was the worst injury that I had, doing 20 minutes every night, that's where I got better. My knee was fine after 2 weeks and got me really excited about what red light therapy is all about and creating a device that was more versatile and portable than the device that my wife got me. And that was how Lumaflex was born. And it's funny because this is like one of the first podcasts I think I come on a second time, and it's good. I can look and be like, I like to it's good to do that, to sort of like do a recap and then be like, wow, we've come very far. Let's keep going and see how far we can go in the next 2 years to come, right? Um, so now we are actually probably I'm pretty confident to say we are the most distributed red light therapy product in the world globally. And we've got 12 design and innovation awards. I'm receiving an award I think it's the week after, I think it's on the 22nd of this month. I'm receiving a new award. We are GSA approved. So I actually sell to the military because it's a GSA approved product. Um, and we are FDA class 2 with a 510(k). So there's an extra reporting, extra testing and reporting has been done on the product to actually give us a 510(k) with 3 indications of use. One is for pain management, 2 is for wrinkle reduction, and 3 is actually for weight loss,
Oh,
for body slimming. So Lumaflex weight loss. You can put it on your gut, and it's obviously part of a weight loss program. But we have that FDA, these 3 codes, and we are the only portable product that has an FDA 510(k). So when a product is FDA listed versus having a 510(k), it's very, very different. Very, very, it's we've gone through a much more rigorous testing process to actually have a 510(k) than just being listed, FDA listed. So we're the only product with a 510(k), and we are the only red light therapy product on the market with these 3 codes, indications of use. But yeah, it's been amazing 2 years. We're now in our third year, coming up to our anniversary in the next month will be our anniversary, the 19th next month. And yeah, it's amazing to be back and to share all that we've accomplished. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
what way it is? You did break out a minute, for a couple of seconds there. You got muffled up, but I think I got most of it. But John, I mean, really, thank you for sharing the changes and the upgrades, and as well as the is it accolades or the approvals that you've gone through and the certifications, because uh, it's a tough business out there, right? Especially when you introduce a new tech. And to your point, it's red light therapy was there, and it was for cosmetic purposes primarily, not as much used in the athletic, space and recovery modality. But you kind of turned that into it, and it's amazing. I saw you with your first pieces, and the demo and all the stuff and doing stuff. I was looking at the website, amazing stuff, folks. I mean, it's really just what 2 years can do in when there is
Yes.
ambition, there's hard work behind it. And so again, this will be more like as an entrepreneur and a business, person yourself. I mean, can you, just guide a little bit the audience about that experience, because that is a lot of work. I mean, I see you every day almost posting stuff, doing things, doing your own reels and I guess videos about you doing your own treatment stuff, but also like you being on different stages, different interviews, doing stuff. It's a lot to build a team, to build the process, and getting through the FDA approvals process is just another level in its own, because it's, for those people that are worldwide. I mean, certainly they may not know much about the FDA or they hear about it, but in the US, it's a big deal, especially when you have these things. And then you have some international, stuff that you also have, which you're kind of pushing the products everywhere, right? So, and I've
Yeah.
seen you were. I'm in the UAE, so I think you had something also like UK. You were on UAE Times, I think. Front page. So yeah. So share with us some of the maybe the challenges, that you've experienced, and of course, that got you to success. Because a lot of people were like, "Hey, Lumaflex, we know about the company, we know about John. But what does it take to get there? Because a lot of people, they want to be innovative. And listen, I have an invention. I wasn't able to make it, of the actual patent. I mean, I got it patent and everything, but never made it, into anything because just I couldn't get it licensed, right? So it is not easy to get things done, and really you got to pursue it. You got to persevere. You got to have some resilience behind it, discipline. Which, by the way, I see you disciplined both in business and in health, which is a quality that I admire. And personally, I I'm always learning from entrepreneurs and business people such as yourself, and the successes and the routes and the roads that actually they take towards that success. So if you don't mind, John, share with us some of the wisdom behind.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to have a question like this because it helps you um, understand your process more, right? You want to talk to get here. I gave a speech, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and I was asked a similar, very, very similar question. And I broke it down to two things. And I think if somebody has an ambition to be an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur is kind of a word that gets thrown around, like everyone's an entrepreneur. But I kind of see if someone has like a vision and they want to impact the world, they want to change the world, they want to revolutionize the world. That's sort of my favorite word is revolutionize, like do
Love
something
it.
completely wild and unexpected. You kind of and you have this like it's like a disease in a good way. It's like a disease. You wake up and you have this feeling you want to impact the world. If you like, where do I start? I think the two things that I'd say that have helped me the most. These two things. One is I am an aggressive networker, and I'm a really aggressive networker. Like I see your network as your net worth. Like the better your network, the better your net worth is going to be. Your
Mm.
career, everything. It's all going to fall into place. Aggressively network, and this goes into a discussion about like how do you network? How do you give value? What is value? Understand what value is, and understand how to give value because this is how you can get value in return. And you share value is how you build your network. People don't just become friends with you because you have like nice hair or a nice fancy pair of shoes, right? It's because you have value. And showing that value and this value exchange is if you get good at this, you can build your network very, very fast and a very valuable network, right? So build your network. And then the second thing is to manage stress. Learn to manage stress. Become very good at managing stress. Because if the better you are at managing stress, the then you can really hunt for challenges and you can like you can really aggressively go after your dream, or of to impact the world, right? And managing your stress, there's like a few things you can do is meditations very, very good, like just being still, not thinking of anything. um i I find that very, very valuable. I've wished that somebody had encouraged me to do meditation much earlier on. I think I would be in a very different place if I just could started meditating earlier. But meditation's good also if you expose your body to stress, physical stress. The chemicals that go off in your head are the same that go off when you're dealing with like financial stress or career stress. So you can kind of like control the physical stress and use this as a way to become like stress strong. So for example, like exercise is a good thing. Like if you go like when you exercise, when you do go to a gym or you go running or whatever it is that you do, think of think of the protocol, the activity as you're applying stress onto your physical body and you're trying to, see how far you can go before you rest or whatever, purely for the reason of training yourself to manage stress for your career. Like don't think of, I mean, of course it's up to you, but you can kind of like it becomes overwhelming if you're like you got a weight loss goal or you're trying to, get abs for the summer or all that noise. It's all good and well, but exercise is great just simply for helping your body become resilient for stress. Another thing is like ice baths. Ice baths is like a massive thing now that everyone is jumping on. Great for recovery, great for circulation, but also very good to help you manage stress. Water's cold, you have to stay in the water. You're like, trying to be in really cold water for 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. You're conditioning your body for stress. And then, you know, when you're on entrepreneurial life, when things go wrong, you're like, wow, I'm able to manage this and figure out, a solution to this problem, because it transfers over, right? So I always look at those two things as something that I wish somebody had told me when I was younger. Learn to manage stress and build your network. These are the two things. Everything else kind of falls into place. And that's my humble advice. But each to their own. Everyone's different,
Well, John,
right?
thank you for sharing. I mean, those are some powerful, actually, I guess, advice to the audiences because they're real insights as from your perspective as an owner, CEO, innovator, and you hit it. I mean, certainly if you don't have the right network, you certainly cannot expand, do things, and get in the right circles and so on and so forth to expedite things. Even approvals, all the stuff, the more people know about your stuff, the easier things become. So it's a lot of ways of looking at it in terms of, maybe financial investments and so on and so forth. All that stuff works. But I love about the analogy or the connection between the body concept and the stress and the mind, because working and building anything from scratch is a lot of work, and it does take a
Yes.
mental toll. I mean, physical and mental, and of course, both of them together, it's chaos, right? But by the way, I did
Yes.
see you do some plunges in some real, icy buckets, and it does look brutal. So I'd never done ice personally, ice baths, but I've done the cold hot therapies where you jump from one water cold to the other one to the hot.
Oh,
I've done those.
contrast. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done also the sauna ones where you go to the ice one versus the hot one and stuff, but never actually plunged in the ice, bucket. If you
Yeah.
for simple words, right? It's got to be, just shocking the system. I mean, it's got to like, the other one does it, and you feel that just even getting a cold shower in the morning. I mean, that's just kind of like whoa. But just
Yes.
2 minutes in that stuff. That's actually what some of the Navy SEALs and other type of
Yeah.
military training is. They put them in those environments, and they have to survive. I mean, even
That's right.
Coast Guard, they'll dump them in the worst waves and hurricane stuff
Yeah.
and let them train. Come back, survive. Right? It builds resilience, it builds strength, it builds discipline, it builds team. The mind is already ready. Like it's not phased by anything that hits it. So again, folks, if you're watching or listening, I mean, certainly we're talking about the benefits of the red light therapy today and Lumaflex, but the concept of business is also part of what we discuss, and it can get someone motivated and stuff and in life, and it's also on your health because as you said, if you do all the stuff, but you also practice what you preach, meaning that you do use your therapy, you do use these things to keep stuff because you're presenting, you're talking about these products, and they need people have. That's the thing. Like it's very difficult to speak about a product and you look the opposite of the product. I'm sorry to say that, but
Yes.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't add up. Like people will challenge you, like, well, if this is working, but it doesn't show up on you, that may be a problem. But when I see you and I see your work and I see the results and you preach about them, I'll yeah, I'll buy it. You know what I mean? I'll buy the concept, I'll buy the product. I know it works. And you're like again, your first client is you, right? And that's always a big deal. So thank you for sharing some of that real beautiful insights about the business part of it. Now, so you've done all this work 2 years in, I mean almost 3 years now, and now your technology is becoming mainstream, man. This is like yours is, I think, in very little time, I made a piece that everybody will have in their home, just like a piece of technology that we have today. I don't know, a phone or something, because it's portable enough, but it does a lot more. I mean, listen, I've done other shows about red light, and some of these devices are huge. I mean, you have to buy these pads, or you have to buy these panels. I mean, they're cool and stuff, but and by the way, nothing wrong. I mean, I love all technology, all innovation. To each his own. It depends what you can afford.
That's
Maybe you have a room that you want to have the full setup. That's great. But some people, to your point, need something portable. You're at the hotel, you travel a lot, you need something that is quick. You're always on. I don't know. You're an athlete. You're a martial artist. You go to the gym, the dojo. You come out. I mean, listen, BJJ guys, they take a beating on, on themselves, right? There's a lot of
that's
bending
right.
in it. I mean,
That's
martial arts in general is a tough. MMA guys, this stuff can be. I mean, obviously, some of these folks they have access to. The professional athletes, they all have access to the best. But the amateurs, the people that are just trained to train for the sake of it, they need stuff. Your device now, the Lumaflex, products are going to be now really in a common place everywhere you can get them. I don't know if that's yet to it happened yet or not. I mean, in terms of everywhere, because I mean sometimes you have to get into these, and I'm not even sure if the strategy is to be at store stuff or only through your own distribution. But at the end of the day, it's becoming so accessible and easy, and really it's the flexibility to use it. You just added something today that we didn't talk about last time. I don't think we've covered the idea of losing weight with that stuff. That's actually new.
yes.
So
Yeah.
actually, so let's talk about that, like the ability to expand, and where do you see the product, as a mainstream product, as well as let's talk about the technology, well, not technology, but the science behind, using that red light therapy process to help you drop the weight.
That's right. Yeah, that's so true. Like I take nothing away from other red light therapy devices. I've always seen like the reason I got into light therapy was to sort of provide a natural, non-invasive solution that's very powerful, that's very clinically proven. There's thousands, there's close to 10,000 studies on light therapy and the human body, the human condition. So I've always wanted to offer that and educate people on that rather than them going to the drug dealer, right? From going to pharmaceuticals. That's always been sort of my competition, is sort of seeing how can we market heavier than a pill, right? That's always been the goal. And if you are able to afford a large device like a bed, that's awesome. At my office, I have a large device, a large red light therapy device as well. I have, I also have an ice bath in my office as well. I do ice baths every day, every single day. But for Lumaflex, we're that portable solution. We are the portable device, the one that we're like the Theragun, that massage gun, that
Yep.
mainstream massage.
Uh-huh.
Everyone wants to go get a wonderful, massage at a spa, but you do it once every, month or so. You don't go often, right? It's just not feasible. But you can do that massage anytime. Same with Lumaflex. We're the one, that you can use every day. Um, so yeah, we're distributed. We're in I think 26 countries around the world. I have a distributor in the UAE, and I have a distributor in Saudi. But yeah, Latin America, Turkey, like all over the world, where we've got a distributor. And actually, we're in Australia, for example, we're a medical license. So FDA means we're a medical license. So we have a medical license. We have four medical licenses: Canada, Australia, the US, and China. In China, we have the NMPA. So that means it's like the China version uh, of the FDA. So I can actually sell, and I do sell the Lumaflex to public hospitals in China, which is quite cool. And because we have that 510(k) in the US, doctors can actually encourage, and I mean, I guess they could even prescribe Lumaflex for these three indications of use: for weight loss, for pain management, and then also for wrinkle reduction. And and because we've designed the device, we've optimized the power output. Like I've got the device right here. I've got the essential. We've optimized the power output, right? So we ask you to touch skin. The device must touch skin. So we've optimized the power output so that we don't work with an output at a distance. It must go directly into the body. So optimizing that power output, optimizing the different wavelengths, the different specific nanometers that we've used, and then also having the app where you can introduce pulse frequency. We've really optimized the device to not just be a therapy, but also medicine. So I'm actually, after we've gotten our 510(k) and after we, looking at what we've achieved in the design of the product, all the awards that we've won, I'm now pushing for not light therapy, but light medicine. This is kind of like our new category that I'm pioneering. So in the future, yes, there will be light therapy wellness devices, but then there'll be devices that have been designed and have been with a vision to provide light as medicine. So that's kind of the phase that we're going through right now this year is we're converting sort of all our branding, everything that we do, everything and the way we talk about it to be light medicine versus light therapy. So I mean, and I talk about this a lot on my LinkedIn about wellness is kind of well established, but now I'm trying to push into light being considered as medicine to give it the respect that it deserves. Because when I got into light therapy, I had access and I still have access to the global database of red light therapy studies. I have any new study that is done on light therapy, I have access and I can see it when it comes out, as soon as it comes out. And I've seen the studies grow and grow and grow, always growing. Like every week I check, and there's like a couple new studies that have been entered in. So we're coming up to 10,000 studies. So we're as a treatment, as a modality, we're it's very credible. Like long gone are the days of this being called pseudoscience. This is now every, you
Yeah.
know, very interesting. I did a like early this year, I did a search online to see what are the hot keywords that are being typed in to do with light therapy. So obviously, red light therapy is still quite high. Red light for the face, red light mask. These are all very ranked very high. But the most searched word was photobiomodulation. So photobiomodulation is the medical term for light therapy. So what this shows is that medical professionals, doctors, nurses, right, people in the medical industry are finding out about light therapy and going, "Whoa, like it's becoming overwhelming how credible this is." People are asking, "Hey, do you have light therapy in your clinic?" And they are the ones searching photobiomodulation. What is this? Because they know the medical term. So that's showing that on the medical side, there's a lot of interest now in light therapy. Um, so that's something I definitely am very excited to share is the light medicine that So stay tuned, anyone listening, because this is something I'm going to be talking about, and in the future, this category it will open up where brands and products that do that extra effort, that pay that extra money for additional testing, additional reporting, additional clinical trials, and all of this, that pay that extra to have the device considered as medicine, that this fellowship of brands will start to formulate. There'll be a lot of companies that want to push their product as medicine, not just therapy, but as medicine. Um, and yeah, so we're around all over the world. And to answer your question, we are in retail. We do very well on shopping networks where there'll be like somebody talking about the product, and then they'll have like a sale or like live TV shopping. We do very well because
Like QVC?
yeah, like Shop LC, TVSN, QVC, like we do well because people explain the product. They explain the treatment. And usually I have my scientist Peter Forehand. He will actually do the call. And it's so funny whenever I tune in to watch him do the call for us to talk about Lumaflex, he sells out. And they have to like say, sorry, we've sold out, and we sell out. Like we clear it. It's very cool. You just watch the numbers jump. But yeah, but Canada, we're in Costco. We're in a few other retail around the world, but I have a retail partner who basically runs all of our retail side for us in the US. And my passion now is three regions. This year is Turkey, Brazil, and China. These are my three regions that I'm focusing on, boots on the ground, going between these three. But U.S. retail is doing wonderful. I've got a great team there. Parts of Asia, like Thailand, I got to visit Thailand next week to kick off and do the launch, cut the ribbon to launch with our partner there. Vietnam's doing well, Korea's doing well, Japan's doing well, Hong Kong, Singapore. So Asia's quite covered. Latin America's great, but Brazil is my big. I have a personal passion for Brazil, and I want to make that region do very well. Brazil, Turkey, and China. Yeah.
John, so I'm listening. I'm smiling because, first of all, I'm happy for you, man. I have to say, I love when I see success and things are happening. Just the way you speak about it, it is real, and it's not just because you have the company and you have the product. I think because of what it does. I think the people are seeing the result. As you said, this is not longer going to be therapy; it will be medicine, and
Yes.
which means that And by the way, I love that because you're right. We have a lot of pills prescribed, and maybe sometimes doctors will prescribe some sort of therapy, but now this can be used in a higher level, which will be like this is the thing. Listen, especially when talking about, for example, wrinkle, right? That's a cosmetic thing, right? People would love to look less wrinkled. We have all these
Yes.
creams and things that people are using every day, right? And it, there is a risk factor with creams, right? There's a lot more adverse reactions and I would say medical conditions that can happen with some of these products because again, they're substances, right? Red light therapy is a natural process that we need, right? That's the thing, and so to your point, when you have your guy present and talked about the science, and you've done that actually in the previous show. It's amazing. By the way, do check out the previous show as well as all the shows that John has been on, and he's been all over the place, promoting the Lumaflex product. It's amazing to see how it works, how it penetrates, and again, it is something the sun has that, and there's
Yes.
talks about historic people like and you are like after before the sunrise or around the sunrise, that's really your peak time of red light therapy, and you see it also I think on sunset when you have that red beam, so that's a part of the spectrum, the light that we don't see, and but you can see it. I mean, that's one of the lights we can see, but it's amazing that we are not maximizing. Now you kind of took that natural piece, brought it home, and with zero side effect. That's the whole thing. And by the way, I love Costco is one of my favorite places to shop in the U.S. Because they have good quality products. So if you're at Costco, you already set there. That's one place that they don't take just any product. That I can tell you, and they're very solid about their
Yeah.
quality and their guarantees. So that's a big deal. And by the way, but also regionally, as you spoke about things, if you notice, you mentioned a lot of Asian nations, and most of these places
Yes.
are ahead of maybe the rest of the world when it comes to these things. Matter of fact, Korea is known to be, great with skin and all this aesthetic stuff, right? Uh, China is big deal. I mean, they also have a lot of products. You mentioned over 10,000 types of devices out there in the world, so they do have a lot of that. But you see that that's a trend. It's happening. It's coming. It's real, and it should be available to everyone. And I think
Exactly.
your signature is the portability, the flexibility of your
Yes.
device.
That's right.
And the other thing, John, I think and I love what you just said because yeah, most of the other devices you expose yourself to the ray, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
this is like direct. When you say, I love when you say you have to touch the skin, so it's really deep contact. So that means the penetration, and the effects as it's better. I mean, was it you? I think I was watching something. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times. I think you even discussed this in some discussion you had or another show about the glasses or something, and
Oh, the
the
blue
lights
light
not.
blockers. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yes. Yeah, blue
Yeah.
light blockers. That's important to block artificial light, right? Because sunrise, sunset, like you said, that's our circadian rhythm. But like for me right now, it's 10:30 p.m. where I am, and I'm exposed to artificial light. So my brain is not like, hey, let's go to sleep. My brain's like, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. So I need to push myself to go to sleep. What you do is when the sun sets, you wear blue light blockers. You wear those glasses and that helps your body calm down. Like, like it when the sun sets, your body would naturally calm down in ancient times. We would build campfires, right? We'd be around campfires. So that's it just helps your body to wind down and get proper sleep. Yeah, it's a good hack. Blue light blockers are a great hack, everyone. Get on that.
Thank you, John. Well, so John, is there a good time, you know, that where it gives you the best effect? You know, is it before bed? Is it, you know, when you wake up in the morning? Is it after shower? What would you say to that? I mean, because obviously we want to maximize. The device is great. You put it in, you get a deeper penetration into your skin, which means it stimulates, you know, what needs to be done, and it gives you that feel and look and really nourishes basically your system, right? And so
Yeah,
therefore it basically kicks in, you know, what needs to it's like a catalyst to get in your skin to be what it needs to be, right? At least
that's
that's
right.
my understanding of the the science behind it. You can
Yeah,
stop me and you can deep dive there if you wanted, but
yeah,
the
yeah.
idea is that timing. How does that all work? Because again, someone say, okay, well, I got this device. What am I going to do with it? And you know, I'm sure you have instructions and all that. But for audiences that just curious, and by the way, I love the idea that you're pretty much everywhere and you're advancing it, you know, into parts of the world, you know, that may not have access to it yet. So that's great because again, we do have this show all over, and we hope that people can listen to it, connect with you, and hopefully get their product somewhere, whatever they are. So let's talk about that because I do have another question that's going to relate to what you just mentioned, and I can give it to you now, and you can just take a pause there. And that was the idea of being in some of these continents and parts of the world, but in Europe, for example, there are parts
Yes,
where the sun is not really available. There's
exactly.
more, you know,
Yes,
darkness. I mean, you're talking about Scandinavian countries, for example, right? The northern, you know, folks, they have 6 months of darkness. You know, I mean,
yes,
your product should be like, you know, bread. Well, bread is
yes.
not a good example, but should be like,
That's
I don't know, fuel for them, right?
Yes. Yeah. Europe, we do very well in Europe. We probably the best region we do is actually is in Europe. And it's for that exact reason. They need red light. They need it. You know, they're deficient in natural light from the sun just because of the distance between the equator. Um, but yeah, red and near infrared light, the optimal time to get it on a beautiful sunny day, if you're like in the tropics is at sunrise and sunset. That's pure red and infrared light. And this, all of it, I mean, a very, very good question that you ask is like, I've got this great device. How do I use it? When's the best time? And I ran into this question so much. It was such an overwhelming question about 8 months into launching Lumaflex that me and my scientist, Peter Forand, we put together an education program and we said, we can't just be a great award winning product. We have to be a full solution. A full solution takes you from zero to hero in red light therapy, answers all the questions. So we built this amazing education academy, the Lumaflex Academy. And we have 6 courses in the academy online. And this coursework is actually accredited. It has ACE and NASM and the AFAA accreditation. So we can do an in-person seminar, and it's a full day, and we can actually give a certification with 8 credits with this certificate because it's accredited. But anybody listening now, if you want the zero to hero education on red light therapy, just hit me up on Instagram. John Graham Fitness is my tag, and say, "Yo, I love the podcast. I want to learn about red light therapy. Give me your email. I'll enroll you for free in our academy, and you'll learn everything. It's literally the zero to hero course on anything to do with red light therapy. But some little snippets of what we teach is we obviously teach that red light therapy, Lumaflex, is a sun supplement, specifically from red and infrared light. You know, red and infrared light is nothing fancy made in a laboratory with a bunch of modern Einsteins. It's from the sun. It's specific nanometers of light that are available to us in our natural environment, right? And the optimal time to get is at sunrise and sunset. So if we were to go back, couple hundred years, in our early history, we would wake up. Our alarm clock was the sunrise. that's when we would get our red and infrared light. It would actually give, so it would actually increase our UV, our SPF levels to actually protect us throughout the rest of the day, where UV light comes into play. Now, UV light is important. UV light, I fully encourage all of us need to have our UV exposure. It's just in very lower doses, right? Because that's where you can burn your skin, especially if you're fair skinned, like you have white skin. Um, and it's hard to regulate UV light dosage because it's different to each person based on skin color, there's many factors. But red and infrared light on the spectrum, red and near infrared light, there's no burn, nothing bad happens to your body, only upside, only benefits, only skin benefits, hair benefits, pain relief, and et cetera, et cetera. And how this happens is the light passes the skin barrier and activates your mitochondria. Your mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cell. By giving energy to the mitochondria, your cell can do what it's supposed to do. It's like the engine in the car. Your brain is the driver. If you're giving energy to the engine, the car can do whatever it wants. A U-turn, it can do some drifting, it can go fast, it can go slow, win races, right? Your body can do anything as long as it has energy. And red and infrared light is energy, right? That's the energy to your mitochondria. So increased blood circulation, increased ATP, increased energy, right? ATP is the currency our body kind of functions on. And then a reduction in inflammation. So these three mechanisms occur when you're giving light to the cell. And that is how we get such a variety, such a limitless amount of benefits. Everything from hair growth, to testosterone production, to skin rejuvenation, to weight loss, to pain reduction, to all these wonderful benefits. We get it just because we're giving energy to the cell. We're increasing blood circulation, we're increasing ATP, and we're reducing inflammation. So, with all of that in mind, and looking at our natural environment and looking how we would behave in our natural environment in ancient times, I believe that the best time to have red and infrared light is morning and night. The same as, sunrise and sunset. I believe that's the best time. So we encourage people to do like a wellness protocol. So aim Lumaflex at your heart, right? Give your heart energy, give your spine energy, the back of your neck, give your gut energy, right? Give your face every single morning and every single night before bed. That's for wellness, right? Because if you're as a human, if you say, well, I don't have any pain, so I'm okay. All right, that's wonderful. So now your goal is to live long. How do you live long? You need mitochondrial health. You need cellular health. You need cellular energy. The healthier your cells are, the longer you can live, right? So that's where Brian Johnson, Dave Asprey, when these gurus of longevity, when they talk about light therapy, it's for longevity benefits. Like they do it, and red light therapy, just like in ancient times where we'd wake up with the sun and go to sleep with the sunset, we need red light therapy every day. It's a consistent thing. Consistency is kind of the thing that can be a game changer in terms of recovery. So if Jesse and John, both same humans in the same accident, Jesse's been using red light therapy consistently. John hasn't been. He just starts using it. Jesse will heal faster. Same accident, same injuries. Jesse will heal faster because your body, the more consistent you are, the better your cells respond and can recover, for injuries, for disease, anything. So consistency is important. Morning, night, those are the ideal times. Wellness is face, your heart, your spine, your gut every morning and night. For pain, we recommend 2 treatments of 10 minutes because there's a 10-minute timer. So if you have a shoulder injury, do the front 10 minutes, the back 10 minutes, at night, front, back, same area, same time. And then check your pain rating the next morning. So if I'm going to do my treatment this today, I'll say, oh, my pain is about 8. Let's try to get it to a 4. Let's get it to a 3. Let's push the pain down. I would check my pain rating the next morning because you let your body regenerate, have all your cells get healthy, get energized, and then the next morning is usually when you find the relief. But that's kind of all again written out in our education, which is all video workshop style. So if anyone wants access to the education, please do reach out to me because that's a big part of our company now is our education department and educating people about it. It's a good passion that we know that all of us have. So yeah, hit me up.
Well, John, thank you, and I appreciate you expanding on the way it operates internally. I mean, you kind of explained what I try to explain in my limited, knowledge there. But you did it. I mean, it's really the cellular level. It makes it happen, and the right timing, and so on and so forth. And but to your point, it's longevity. It's really the recovery time for someone. To your point, to similar exact thing. One is going to have a better outcome than the other because of the use of red light therapy. The thing is, I think I this is something that we have to have like daily. I mean, it's like I think everybody should just have their device ready, go do it, just like you wake up and brush your teeth. I think this is something that we have to do.
Yes. Amen.
We shouldn't be. I mean, because again, to your point, we're not exposed enough to the right sun because people are either waking up too early or after the good lights are out there. And to your point, it's not consistent. We're not always there, and plus, depends where you live. You can I have friends from London, and we always say this, and it just rains almost 350 something days a year. So where's the sun? So you're not
Yeah.
even getting exposed to any of that. So this is definitely something that we need to encourage people to actually do that. I love the concept of the education because it teaches people more how to it works, how to do it, and so on and so forth. Gets them excited about it. But I have a question on that. The certification, is that for them just to learn, themselves, or they can also maybe teach or assist others with the therapy? I'm just curious.
Yes. That's right. Like the course that's accredited. So that the course that we have got accredited with ACE, the American Council of Exercise, and NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine. The listed it's called the Lumaflex Recovery Specialist. So anyone who has a career as a trainer, a therapist, or even a nurse, someone with a medical, that has a career as a medical professional, they can do the course, earn the credits, and those credits can go towards an like a some other degree in medical, right? It actually
Oh,
the
okay.
value of it can go to some higher level education. But most of the people that do the course that we run in person are trainers and therapists. We usually will have a therapist that does, like, say they're going to become a physio, or they're going to go into become a chiropractor. That's what they're pushing for. So they're in the learning phase of their career. So that's a course that they'll do. Um, but yeah, anybody can. It's like the course is all video format, so it's you listening to Peter Foran as he's giving lectures, and it's very easy to digest. It's very, like I told Peter, the key thing that we need to make this course is we need to have a 5-year-old understand this. Like, we can't go to medical to where we lose our audience. We want everyone to understand this, right? So anybody who does this course, it's very, very easy to understand. Of course, if you want to get certified, if you want that certification, you want those credits, we can only do that in-person seminar where we're with either Peter or one of the master trainers we have around the world. And we run the course in select regions through our distributors. Like in the UAE, the Switch Up Life is my distributor there. If they want to run a course, or they will run it, and we will support with a trainer and everything. So every region has a master trainer and a distributor, and they run it. So anyone listening, wherever you are in the world, you can, yeah, just reach out to me, and I can see if what the schedule is for these seminars coming around.
Well, thank you, John. That's impressive because now these folks can use them for CEs for their continuing education credits. They can use them for your save some money, I guess, on their overall credits, whatever. I mean, or even to your point, trainers, people, just having that certification. Like sometimes you're a personal trainer or you go to one of these massive places and they say, okay, do you have a CPR license or certification,
Yeah.
right? Something like this will be like an added value. Like I'm also certified in red light therapy and I can help with recovery and
Yes,
you know
that's right.
I guess pain management that happens, through extensive, workouts, right? So that could be a positive to anyone watching. So if this is your career path, any one of, things that John mentioned, this is definitely up your alley, and you certainly can benefit through it through the and John said it. Just while you have this, if you're listening, just reach out to him and see if you can get in. If not, I mean, the website will still be on the description of the show, and people can actually just link up directly to. By the way, I did see it. It's pretty cool stuff there. So yeah, I encourage everyone to
Right.
hit the site and watch, and do follow John because he's definitely given a lot of good insights and nuggets out there. Now, so John, here's the thing. I mean, I'm listening to you. I'm sure everybody is watching and listening is like excited. But is there any in your mind? Do you think that we're still overall in the global space overlooking the benefits of red light therapy? Because
Do you think
I
that,
don't.
yeah,
I'm saying, are we really still overlooking the benefits of it? Because it is. I think you're going mainstream. You're building the mainstream concept where it becomes in every household, but we're not there yet, right? What would be the reason that in your research is driving? It's behind the idea of maybe not everybody is hip to it.
yeah, it's natural. It's like free. Yeah, it's you can't other than the product, it's not something that big pharma can make money off, right? So there is the side to it that like the reason why it's not, pharma don't want to talk about it. They don't want to say like, oh, don't worry, all those problems that you have, light can figure it out. Like you can, like it's all from the sun, right? It's all the power of the sun. It leads to such a huge question of why are they telling us to, put sunscreen on our bodies, right? A toxin on our body. Why are they telling us to be protected from the sun? Yes, if you have white skin and you're in the sun too long, you will get sunburn. But the people with fair skin, like I'm originally Scottish. So where I'm from on the planet, we didn't have that much intense sun exposure. The sun exposure that we did have was enough for our fair skin. But in the tropics, people with darker skin, they no one was getting skin cancer back then. No one had like where did some it's because we're moving around a lot. What we need to do is regulate our sun exposure. If you're fair skin, don't go out in the sun too long, but you still should. It still has healing, benefits to your body. Like go on Google and look up like sun decks in hospital, black and white photos. You will see black and white photos of hospitals that used to have sun decks where they would take patients to the deck to put them out in the sun because they knew that the sun was powerful and that could heal them. But then antibiotics turned up, and then they were like, "Oh, get rid of the decks. Don't talk about the sun." Shh, you know. So like there is that side of it where it's kind of become when you research it and you go deep down the rabbit hole, it becomes very hard to deny that definitely there were yeah, there was certain shifts made and attention placed in certain areas and distractions made to, make us fully unaware of the healing power of the sun that's available to us outside every day, right? Um, and that's something that it's like, yeah, like on the website on Lumaflex, we have a sun cloth. Okay, this is fun, and anybody can research this. We have a sun cloth. We call it sun cloth. It's a silk. Okay, this silk, you can buy it on the website, on Lumaflex, and it educates people about the power of the sun. That silk, we've tested it with like a special machine, with like a special a radiance measure machine, and it lets in all red and infrared light and blocks all UV light. So if you want red and infrared light treatment, if you want your medicine, you can just put that silk on your body and go out into the sun and sit there. It's the same as having Lumaflex. It's the same. It's you're literally getting in red and infrared light. And this opens up like what was and it's silk. It's a special kind of silk. It's a special thickness, and it opens up the question of like the silk, such an important fabric. It's because yeah, it helps your body like get red and infrared light. But yeah, that's like linen. This is another thing you could look up is linen, the fabric linen, and why would hospital bed sheets used to be linen and then suddenly was changed. That's another rabbit hole that's
John,
fun to
thank you.
go
And,
down. But all in all, I believe that natural healing. Yeah.
John, you
Oops, did I
broke up
lose
for
you?
that.
Did I lose you?
No, no, you didn't. Just broke up for that last one. If you don't mind, repeat that last sentence.
Oh yeah, it's just I think all in all, natural healing that's available to us in our natural environment, not to mention like herbs and things like that, like what nature has available to us to heal. You not really things that big pharma likes to talk about, and they do everything to suppress that information and you know have our attention focused on the authority, the doctor, the white coat. No, listen to me, I'm the doctor. I went to medical school. I went to medical school. You should trust me, you should have this pill, right? um yeah.
Uh,
I get very furious. I get riled up about
John,
it.
listen, you're hitting on the reality of things, and it is a fact. I mean, industries, pharma one being one of the bigger ones that kind of has control over the health and healthcare in general. They do the research. They do actually push the research. They actually even I was told that the curriculum of medicine is somewhat presented or kind of worked together by them and again I get it so there is I mean maybe someone can say no to this but we have everything in nature to keep us healthy from the moment we are born to
Yes.
to the end, and not only healthy well enough, to continue. But we've been told for the longest, and through the movies, the marketing, this, that, the other, that medicine is what's making us healthier and living longer these days. And although now the studies are showing a little opposite of that, and then we're actually on the decline from what we used to be. And so, to your point, sun is medicine. We've been suppressed. You cannot do this. Do SPF 100. You never get an ounce of of anything going through your skin, which means your body is limiting its potential. And there you go. So these
That's
are these are fact. I mean, even you mentioned the Blu-rays. That's one, but now there's also the discussion about like they introduced like sunglasses, so you don't get that filtration of the sun through your eye, and that's another access point of good beams that are coming into your body, into your system and working. But a lot of the stuff is not available in the general world because it's not something that you hear on regular TV, and that's not
yes.
you're not getting a lot of discussions like this on mass media, and that's just the way it is. By the way, that's why we have this media company, is
Yeah.
and there's other shows that are similar where we'd like to bring as much expertise and direct raw information to the public so people can actually take it, learn it, and apply it, and just be successful in their life. And I mean here, success is health wise, because I think if you're successful, healthy, everything else, can materialize. Because I mean, good example, John. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to be the entrepreneur you are and making things happen because you're not going to have the bandwidth or the energy to do any of that, right? So it's a
That's
simple
right.
fact. I mean, look, I do my shows. It takes energy to be doing these things and following through and all the stuff. So no matter what you do, folks, if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to perform. Your family you cannot even take care of if you're not really healthy, and everything between, to your point, the food, the weather, the environment, everything that we have, the lack of sun, or the chemicals that we are being exposed to day, those are all things that are harming us. I mean, listen, where I live, I mean, there's a tower, cellular tower that's not too far from here. Had I known that thing, I mean, I made the arrangements before I moved in, but I would never be living next to it. And sadly, I'm somewhat exposed to it, and so I have to discharge and all kind of stuff to kind of counter, affect that stuff. But that's a problem. These are
Yeah.
things that of life that we have to be careful. But 90% of us may not know some of the ramifications of all the things that are around us because we are conditioned that those are the norms. What you are, teaching, what you are introducing to the world is how do we take the natural stuff, but now we have access to it readily, even if you don't have the ability to do it in a natural way, which is cool because you're changing the
That's right.
dynamics. I think, and I thank you for taking it to that level. And you know what? I mean, we need these things. And so I again, I commend you for the work you do, John. I just admire that. So I know we're about the hour
Thank
here,
you.
so and it's getting late where you are. Any last words of wisdom you
Thanks
want to
so
leave our
much.
audiences? You're welcome, man.
No, everyone get jump onto the light train. I mean, very easy to go onto YouTube and type what is light therapy to get started, but I would encourage everyone to get started and learn about what light therapy is just from YouTube. Reach out to me, get a full education on that is accredited education. Be I would That's a great place to start. And yeah, there's power in light. There's power in us being in our natural environment, using nature and harnessing nature, not only to live life, but to thrive in life. And yeah, I love it. I'm so excited, and it's wonderful to be part of this mission, and creating this awareness. It's very fulfilling. But yeah, and thank you for giving me access to your audience. It's really that means a lot. I love to be able to share about this, and yeah, let's make the world healthier. Let's really make the world healthier and give people back the ownership of their health, and realize that they can. This is something that you have full sovereignty over. Is your health. You don't need to go to anyone, or you know, it's all you have it in you, and it's nature provides it all for you.
Well, John, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I had fun, and yeah, thank you for coming back, because I mean, this is your second, come back here, and definitely a lot of things happened since the first time. And yeah, so folks, there you go. Red light therapy, the real thing. It's part of life. It's part of nature. We have it. We have access to it. Do check out Lumaflex, the website, and yeah, connect with John, of course, and see how you can benefit from his work, and certainly his educational program. That I think that's going to be very beneficial to many, especially if you're in the field of helping others in the healthcare space. And that's about it. So I'm Hurricane H. We'll be talking soon. New day, new show on topic. Bye for now.